YouTube, this is Retta. How are you guys doing today? I'm going to do a quick show and tell of the new decks I'm going to use in my fall readings. Some of them I had for years, I just never connected with, and I'm just like, I might as well start now. You know, I need to try to connect with them and use them. So this is what I'm going to do. I kind of feel bad that I'm not doing a readings because I started, my spirit guides had me up and trying to organize my decks. If you guys, I've told you guys this a few times, I have a reading table, but when I used to do readings on the reading table, a lot of you subscribers couldn't really see all the cards on my reading table, so I kind of like overtook my living room table. So my living room table has became a working area for my readings and so forth. And so it's kind of like taken over my living room, and I have like a chair. I think you guys have seen it in some of my live videos. I have a white leather chair next to my table, and it has like at least 200 decks in them, and to the point where some of them are in boxes, some of them I didn't even put back in boxes. I just put them over there when I was done with the reading and went on to another. So it's kind of getting overwhelming, and like psychically I don't feel completely here. Like I need to get this area straightened up and cleaned. I know you guys are waiting for the 2 readings. I'm gonna get to them. I just got to get this area straightened up. My daughter came over. She's like, "Oh my God, Ma!" When she's seen it, she's like, "You don't have any room to put them anywhere." I'm like, "I'm putting them away." She's like, "Where are you putting them?" So I'm a little overwhelmed, and I'm getting it together. But I didn't want you guys to miss out on a video, and I was thinking about you guys, so I kind of went through some of my decks and said, "Hey, I'm going to use these for the next few months and see how they go." Some of them I've used a couple of times, some of them I haven't used at all. So I'm gonna start with, this used to be my favorite oracle deck. I haven't used it in a few years, and this was an independent deck. It's an oracle deck. It has no words. It did come with a paper with her kind of suggestions on it, but I don't use her suggestions. I kind of, you know, and it's really eerily accurate. I love this deck, and I just haven't used it in a while. It's kind of, I think I was too dependent on it back in the days. So I'm going to use this deck. I forget what it's called, but it's by Renee Keefe on Etsy, and I even bought new cards for it. So I bought these like a year ago and never put them in, added it into the collection. So I'm going to add these cards in, these new cards in, and she even did some chakra cards. So I built on, she probably added more cards, and I haven't really got to it, but I'm going to add these cards to it. Oh, I didn't even realize. You see what I did? Oh, it's kind of not the same color. Is it me, or it could be because I did the side of the deck. You see how the side has color on it? I colored the sides. Maybe that's what it did. Oh Lord, it's kind of, and this side doesn't have them, but so it kind of looks 2 different colors. So I might have to change that, but I'm going to use that. That was my favorite. I've used this a couple of times, the Earthly Soul and Spirits Oracle. I'm going to use that. Of course, this was my go-to. I'm going to use my Tarot of the Sweet Twilight. It's going to be included because it's very fall and Halloween, and it's my favorite deck. So I haven't used it in a long time, and you guys missed me using it. Mary L may make an appearance in here. I'm going to use this. I'm not sure if this is the Green Witch Tarot or the Pagan Tarot. I know I bought it from the creator, the one who drew the picture, the illustrator. I know I bought it from her because she signed it, and it came with this custom. I didn't really connect with it when I bought it, but I'm going to try to use this in my readings. If someone remembers what the name of this deck is, please tell me. Is it the Green Tarot or is it the Pagan Tarot? think it's the green tarot. So I'm going to try to include this one in my readings. Oh, also these ones, I had these. I can't remember the name, so don't remind me. But these are like an oracle deck with just pictures. It's 2 of them. They have 2, and I just put them together. So I'm also going to kind of use this oracle deck. You guys probably know what it's called. If you guys really don't know what it's called and you're interested, I'll look it up and put it down. But I think it's the soul cards. I think that's what it's called. The soul cards or something like that. But it's both sets, and I kind of put them together. So I haven't used it. I've used it a couple of times. I'm going to use the Deviant Moon. I've never connected with this deck. It's so funny is because I had the original version. I gave it away to my friend. And my daughter and my grandson bought me this a few Christmases ago for Christmas. And when I looked at it, I was like, oh, I like Patrick Valencia. I have his Mildred Pierce deck, and I love it. But I didn't, and I have another deck of his, and I loved it, but I never really connected it. I even bought his book trying to connect with this deck, and I really didn't connect with it, the Deviant Moon, but I'm going to try to read with the Deviant. People love it. I don't know why I haven't connected with it. But you know, if you guys know anything about tarot and reading tarot and your intuitiveness, sometimes you don't connect with the deck, and then like 2 months later or a year later or a couple of years later you connect with it. So we'll see. So I have that deck. The Raven deck I never connected with, but I'm going to also try to include this. I think this deck is based off of a book series by Maggie Stillwater, or I think I'm saying her name right. I remember I tried to read her series. I didn't get through the first book. I don't know why I didn't finish reading it, but I don't know why I didn't connect with this deck, but I'm going to try to connect with this deck and use this deck. I'm going to also try to use the Book of Shadows, Volume 2. I had Volume 1 too, I believe. I'm going to try to use this deck. You guys know it's kind of hard for me with decks that are kind of busy. I think that's why I haven't really connected with some of these decks, because they became busy for me. But I'm going to try to use that deck. I'm also going to try to connect with Lisa Hunt's, what is this, Ghost and Shadows, or Shadows and Ghost, or Ghost and Shadows, I don't remember. I've never read with this deck. I don't know, I've never read with it. They're all kind of sticking together. So maybe I got to. But I'm going to try to use this deck in some of my readings. So you see what's so funny, right, is that I'm supposed to be cleaning decks out, and while I'm cleaning decks out, I'm bringing new decks over. So it's like I'm still making a mess. This deck, I don't remember what it is. I've talked about it before, but I bought this leather tarot bag for this deck, and I never used this deck, or if I used it, I've only used it once, and I put it in here. I should have put something to cover the deck. But the suede that's inside of this thing has shed it all over this deck. So I'm hoping that it will work. But I'm going to use this deck. I have a feeling I'm going to pick this deck a lot. I like the dark imagery of this deck. It's calling me. So I'll probably use this deck a lot this upcoming fall. So I don't remember the name of it. If you guys remember below, write it down. You know, put it in the comment. I don't remember. I know I got it from the Green Man store. It was a self-published deck. I know that much. I think also I've used this deck a couple of times. I'm going to use the Ellis Tarot. It wasn't in my list, but I was like, it wasn't in my. But I'm going to use the Ellis Tarot, and that's one. Also, I've used this a few times, the Oracle of Echoes by Anna Torres. I have a few decks of hers. I want to use that deck, and then this deck I have never used, and I'm going to use it. I'm going to try. I bought this. It's even signed. I never connected with it. at all, but I'm really going to make a big effort to try. I've heard people say nothing but great things about this deck, and I've never used it, and I'm going to try. So I'm going to try to use this last Vampires deck, and then the last two, the Slow Howler. I bought this deck. I've never read with it. I didn't connect with it at the time. I don't know if I felt disconnected because there's different artists, and I felt their energy, and it was kind of disconnected. I'm going to try to use this deck too. Not all of these decks I'm going to try, and if I'm in the middle of a reading and it doesn't work, I'm going to grab another one. And then this one I've never really used. I have a kind of review on this deck years ago. I don't remember what it's called. I bought it off of Etsy. I didn't really care for the card stock, and I've never used this deck, and it's all chipped up and stuff, but it's interesting. So I'm going to use this deck. It's kind of busy. So I wonder if this is the same lady who kind of made, I wonder if she's the one who made, I don't know. It kind of looks like another deck that I have, or I don't remember who did it or whatever. I don't remember who did it. I think I didn't really care for the card stock. But I'm going to try to use this deck, and then I do have the Bohemian deck from Baba Studios, which I always have a hard time trying to read with their decks. I'm gonna try. I don't know where it's at, so I may or may not try to put this deck in the collection. I have its bag, but I have no idea what I did with the deck. So, so those are the decks you're gonna see me use. I also have the Sweeney one. I know I use this one all the time, but this is a kind of good one. I might keep this around just in case I get stuck. So, but these are the decks you're going to see me use this fall. Oh, and last but not least, I didn't even see this. Last but not least is this Twisted Tarot Tales. I used this deck once, and it was very interesting. I used this deck once. I don't know if I did a reading on here with this deck, but it was funny because I remember with the reading I did, the Crash Dummies came out, and I thought it was hilarious. It went with the reading so well. I don't know if I did a reading on here, so I think I've only used this deck once. So I actually am going to try to use this deck too. I'm going to try to use this deck, the Twisted Tales, and this is the decks I'm going to use. So I hope you guys enjoy me using these decks, or even trying to struggle using these decks in the the upcoming readings. I haven't forgot. I have those 2 readings I'm going to do. I'm going to try to finish cleaning up this mess and get to the readings. Maybe tonight I'll have one, but my spirit guides got me on lockdown until I get this mess cleaned up. So I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.